I'm knocking him out. Don't say I'm beating him. I'm not gonna beat him. I'm knocking him out. I'm knocking Tank out. I'm knocking him out. I'm knocking him out. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, I'm knocking him out. I'm knocking him out.
Keyshawn Davis is done waiting. He's been calling out Gervonta Davis for years, and after another disappointing interview, he's made it clear Tank is the next one he wants to fight.
For Tank Davis, the top guy. I would go for the top guy. If I could choose, I would choose Tank Davis. I would knock Tank short out. Tank is a great fighter. Hats off to Tank. I'm not even about to just do all that. Like, Tank is a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody knows that he got the power, he got the skill and ability, he's patient, you know what I'm saying? But I know who I am. That little short can't touch me. And I'm coming with that same shit he coming with. And you know that his coach Kenny, you know, got a lot to say. You know what I'm saying? Tells him to go fight from Cuba. No, nigga, I'm gonna fight Tank. Stop mentioning other people when I mention your fighter. What you talking about, boy? Like, don't play with me, bro. Y'all know how I'm coming. Tank, if you wanna fight, send me a contract, bro. Tank, you know.
Let's be honest, this isn't just any fighter. Keyshawn believes this match could be today's version of Crawford versus Spence. That's a big claim, but after what happened on March 1st, he might be right.
Judge at the ringside, Eric Marlinski scores it on 115 to 113 in favor of Gervonta Davis. Judges Steve Weisfeld and Glenn Feldman both scored about 114 to 114, even a draw. The decision is a majority draw.
Tank barely managed a controversial draw against Lemon Roach, a fight he was supposed to win easily. Meanwhile, Keyshawn didn't just beat Denny Boronik, he completely dominated him. Now Keyshawn smells blood in the water. But here's the question. Is Tank finally ready to take the challenge, or has Keyshawn been right? All along, has he been avoiding the fight?
I beat Tank too, as well. Only time I seen him come out fast, it's in the Cruz. I know boxing, and also I know myself, so.
Keyshawn Davis has been trying to get Gervonta's attention for years. Ever since he turned pro, he's had his eyes on the top fighters in the lightweight division, and Gervonta Tank Davis has always been at the top of that list.
Title, but also we gonna come back to Norfolk, man, so y'all don't forget about me. Y'all keep supporting DB3, but a world title definitely gonna be next 2025. We got big plans for everybody in the boxing world. Hey, Gervonta, knock knock.
And you've been on that all week. Listen.
Keyshawn was already talking loud before he even won a world title. After knocking down Limos, he confidently said that Tank was next. But what did Tank have to say?
Trash. And not I'm talking about the opponent. Burn Tank. Ass. I just don't like how this guy come in the game and he don't know nothing about the sport. Like, he don't know nothing about the sport. And everybody going over there, like, he wasn't even pitting, like, at first he wasn't even pitting people that know stuff about the sport and position. He was just saying, like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You don't know nothing about the sport. How you gonna do that?
But he got money?
Yeah, but all money not good money. I'm not about to, hell no.
What about since 4 Lamborghinis and Ferraris? You still?
Huh?
On the Ring magazine, it could be as number one. No, that's
He's not ready yet. That was Tank's response. But after completely flattening Gustavo Limos, Keyshawn made it clear he wasn't joking around. He publicly said, "I'm coming for all of these guys, but especially Gervonta Davis. That's the fight I want." Once again, Tank ignored him. But then February 2025 came, and Keyshawn stepped up again, this time against Boronik. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement. He knocked Boronik out cold, won the WBO lightweight title, and proved to the world that he's the real deal.
Champion at the end of the day. I don't need Gervonta Tank Davis. It takes two to tango. How many times y'all want me to keep saying this man's name for him to get in the damn ring? Either he gonna fight me or he ain't. Everybody knows I want to fight him. I don't gotta keep screaming his man's name. Fuck him. I don't gotta keep screaming his name. I'm making my own lane without fighting big names. I'm creating a big name without fighting big names. Eventually, a big name's gonna get in there with me, whether he got the balls to fight me or not. I'm gonna keep creating my own lane. I'm gonna keep knocking these barriers down, and I'm gonna keep rising to the top, and eventually I will be the face of boxing. Just might not be right now, it might not be next year, but do he have the balls to fight me? Stop asking me about Gervonta.
Tank was sitting ringside that night, but he didn't say a word or respond to Keyshawn. He acted like the fight wasn't even an option. Fast forward to March 1st, and Tank found himself in the toughest fight of his career.
A draw? Okay, then we got a draw. It was a draw. A draw? Y'all still trying to say I can't do this? I can't? Okay.
Now, facing Keyshawn might actually be crucial for Gervonta's career. Let's talk about what happened that night at the Barclays Center. That fight was supposed to be an easy win for Tank, but by round 9, he looked completely lost. Lamont Roach came in confidently, dodging Tank's power punches, landing sharp jabs, and exposing big holes in Tank's defense. Then in the 9th round, Roach landed a clean jab, and Tank took a knee.
He probably wasn't willing when he said that Greek got in the eye, but if you voluntarily take a knee and the rest start counting, it should be a knockdown. If that's a knockdown, I win the fight. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not banking on that knockdown to win. I just thought I pulled it out. What up is that?
He wiped his eye, looked toward his corner, and for the first time in his career, he looked defeated. The referee, Steve Willis, didn't count it as a knockdown, but the judges did. That led to a controversial draw.
Lamont won. Let's start there, too. I feel like Lamont definitely won. All right, G. I feel like Lamont Roach won. I definitely feel like Lamont Roach won. But a draw, like, it is what it is type shit, you know? I ain't hating on the decision. I ain't shitting on the decision.
This wasn't just a bad night, it was a reality check. Tank has always relied on his powerful punches, but against Roach, his timing was off, his footwork was slow, and his head movement was missing. Honestly, I felt like I should have won if that knockdown hadn't been counted. But according to the rules, if you take a knee willingly, it's automatically considered a knockdown. It is what it is. Everyone in the Barclays Center seemed to believe Lamont Roach had won. Even top fighters like Terrence Crawford and Shakur Stevenson were saying it. And it wasn't just emotional fans, experienced professionals agreed. People said Tank was lucky to walk away with a draw. He did fight well, but I thought Roach won. That fight felt more like a sparring session than a real match. Tank didn't look like himself that night. The moment was surreal. People expected him to win easily, but Roach exposed a lot of weaknesses. When Tank took a knee, he wiped his eyes and looked at his corner. For the first time ever, he looked mentally beaten. The referee, Steve Willis, didn't rule it a knockdown, but the judges did, making the result a controversial tie. Tank later explained that water had burned his eyes and he didn't want to risk getting knocked out because he couldn't see properly. That's why he took the knee. He didn't know that it would be counted as a knockdown, but it was too late. All this has shown that Tank's dominance isn't as solid as many thought, and with younger, hungry fighters like Keyshawn Davis chasing him, Tank needs to prove he's still at the top. Keyshawn is now looking stronger than ever, and a fight between him and Tank makes more sense than ever before. He's even taunting fans who say Tank will put him to sleep, saying, "When I knock him out, what will you say? Practice that message now, because when it happens, it won't feel normal." Now, rumors of a Tank versus Roach rematch are heating up, but Keyshawn advised Roach not to do it. He wants to fight Roach himself. In his view, a Keyshawn versus Roach match would be the most exciting in the division. Roach already stood his ground against one of the division's most powerful punchers. Keyshawn believes they'd put on a high-speed, tactical, and action-packed fight. Keyshawn also responded to critics saying Shakur Stevenson is ducking Tank, saying, "Nobody's scared, it's about money. In a perfect world, I'd let Shakur and Tank fight, and I'd take on Roach." He appreciates Roach for reviving interest in the 135 division and wants to fight him instead of seeing a rushed rematch with Tank. But some think Keyshawn is being strategic, that he doesn't want Roach to go for a rematch because he wants Tank for himself. Maybe they're right. If Tank doesn't take the fight with Keyshawn soon, people will start to wonder if he's avoiding him. At this point, it looks like Tank is dodging the rematch with Roach. The way the fight ended, it's no surprise. He didn't look like himself, and something was clearly wrong that night. Taking a knee in round 9 due to eye issues is something we've never seen from him. Tank knows Roach exposed something, and if he doesn't fix it, going back into the ring with him could be a major problem. That's why Tank might be staying silent, acting like the fight never happened. Meanwhile, the NYX fight review went into detail, showing just how many things went wrong for Tank. Still, the draw decision wasn't changed. Roach has been asking for a rematch, but Tank hasn't responded. Roach has already signed a contract that guarantees an immediate rematch if the first fight ended in a draw. He wants to show the world it wasn't a fluke. Roach said, "I signed for the rematch just in case it was a draw or loss, so now it's on Tank. I hope we can make it happen. I'm thinking July." But Tank doesn't seem worried, and that's what makes people think he sees Roach as a real threat. He needs to figure out what went wrong before facing him again. Now imagine this, Tank versus Keyshawn Davis. That fight could be a game changer. Facing Keyshawn might help Tank avoid the Roach rematch and stay in the spotlight. Let's be real. Keyshawn is a serious contender. Even Mike Tyson praised his ring IQ and elite-level skills. Keyshawn is not just a rising prospect. He's the full package, strong on offense and defense with quick feet and sharp head movement. He can dodge and counter with precision. He controls the fight with his jab and has knockout power too. If Tank faces Keyshawn, it would be a true clash of styles. Tank's explosive uppercuts versus Keyshawn's smart defensive boxing. It would be a lesson in ring strategy. As Keyshawn said, either Shakur or I will gas out Tank eventually. It's closing in. If Tank isn't careful, Keyshawn could expose even more of his weaknesses. This fight has high risk but high reward. And for fans, it could finally settle who the real king of the lightweight division is.
But I should have won without that being counted a knockdown. Look, I ain't the ref. I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he had to wipe sweat out his eye, he had to wipe sweat out his eye. But the rules do state, if you voluntarily take a knee, then that's an automatic 8. But it is what it is. I wasn't relying on that. I was relying on what I was doing in it. I think I was taking control. I think I was landing more shots. I think I was landing more power shots. And I thought I was doing my thing. So I'm not really that frustrated about that. But if that was kind of a knockdown, I would win the majority decision.
Pues ahora sí que dieron una gran pelea. Ahora sí que me sorprendió la pelea que dio Loma Roach. Y bueno, fue una gran pelea para todos los aficionados.
¿Tú crees que fue un empate?
No, yo creo que no. Creo que le quedó una de ver la caída a Loma Roach. Pero bueno, decisión de los jueces y del referee que no le hizo válida la caída, no le hizo el conteo.
¿Qué le fue mal en esta pelea para Gervonta? ¿Qué fue lo que no hizo para que los jueces le den esta pelea? ¿Tú qué piensas?
Bueno, él nada más apostó a un solo round, a un solo golpe para poderlo noquear, y el cual Loma venía muy bien preparado, muy bien concentrado en el plan de trabajo. Bueno, creo que a Tank le faltó presionar, tirar más golpes para ser más contundente y que se viera más efectivo a la hora de la victoria.
¿Te gustaría ver una revancha entre ellos?
Pues estaría muy agradable. Ahora sí que la primera estuvo muy buena. Yo creo que la segunda.
Did you get your hair done 2 days before the fight?
Yeah. I ran water over it today, but I must say do it enough.
Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring? And was it to get the towel out, to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on?
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning, and you know, like, you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than, you know. But I didn't really know that you can like get disqualified for all that. Or like when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know. It's cool.